Brought to you by Penguin.
Your Boss Era, written and read by me, Heather Elkington. To Mum and Dad, because your borderline delusional levels of optimism about the world made me believe I could achieve literally anything, and somehow you were right. Introduction. Hi, I'm Heather. I used to think a business management degree would prepare me for leadership, that by the time I walked out of university, I'd have it all figured out. I'd be confident, competent, and ready to build a great career. Instead, I walked into my first management role feeling like an imposter. I had spent 3 years sitting in lecture halls revising the stories about what made a good manager. I had memorized models, written essays on outdated case studies, and could explain the difference between transformational and transactional leadership in an exam. But when I stepped into my first real leadership role, none of it prepared me for what actually mattered. Nothing I learned at university taught me how to have a difficult conversation with an underperforming employee, how to balance being respected and being liked, or how to make decisions when there wasn't a right answer, only a messy, uncertain one. And yet, despite feeling wildly unprepared, I kept moving forward. I took the promotions, the pay rises, the next step up. By 26, I had worked my way from assistant manager of a small team at Harrods to director of operations in a FTSE 100 subsidiary, leading 5 different teams. I should have felt like a leader. Instead, every decision I made felt like a test I wasn't qualified to take. Imposter syndrome sat in every meeting room with me, whispering that one day someone would figure out that I had no idea what I was doing. I was constantly looking over my shoulder, waiting for the moment I'd be found out. So, I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I worked harder. I took on more. I said yes to everything. I told myself that when I hit the next milestone, when I got the next pay rise, the next title, the next big win, I would finally feel like I'd made it. I would finally arrive at the version of myself who had it all figured out. But that moment never came. Then, when I hit 27, something changed. The shift. At that point, my career was objectively successful. I was earning a 6-figure salary with even bigger bonuses. I had built teams, scaled companies, and even played a big role in exiting a business for 8 figures. But none of those things were the reason I finally felt different. For the first time in my life, I wasn't just surviving my job. I wasn't working to prove something. I wasn't chasing the next title to quieten the voice inside my head telling me I wasn't good enough. I actually liked being at work. And not in the way I had before, where work was a game of achievement, a ladder I was trying to climb. I liked my job in a way that felt healthy. It added to my life instead of draining it. My life outside of work was different too. My circle was smaller. I had fewer friends than I used to, but the ones I had were solid. After years of rocky relationships, I was finally in one that felt stable and real. I wasn't burning myself out trying to keep up with everyone else. I had created a life that actually felt good instead of one that just looked good on the surface. And that's when I realised I was in my boss era. What your boss era actually means. Your boss era isn't about promotions, pay rises, or external validation, although that is some of the fun stuff you'll pick up along the way too. It's not about faking confidence until you believe it, and it's definitely not about working yourself into the ground to prove your worth. As we move into our boss era, we step into a version of ourselves that is clear, capable, and in control of both your management career and also your life. It's about finding a rhythm that works for you, where work is something that fulfills you, not something you have to recover from every week. It's about finally realizing that being great at your job doesn't mean never struggling, that confidence isn't the absence of doubt, that leadership isn't about knowing everything. It's about showing up.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?